Chosen one, heaven has pressed pause on everything around you right now. The noise fades, time slows, and your spirit feels that trembling you can't explain. This is not a random moment. The hour heaven warned you of has come, not to destroy you, but to awaken the power sleeping within you. You have carried questions in silence. Nights when your prayers felt like whispers lost in a storm. You wondered if heaven still heard you, if destiny still remembered your name. But silence was never abandonment. It was divine construction. It is written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 1. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. You didn't lose your fire. You were hidden to protect it. Every delay was God building depth inside you. A quiet strength the world could not see, like a seed under soil. You were covered, but not forgotten. What looked like burial was actually planting, and now the ground itself begins to shake because the season of rising has arrived. You can feel it in the air, something shifting, heaven's breath stirring your soul awake. The patterns that once chained you are breaking. You can't return to the old version of yourself. It no longer fits the new anointing stretching over your life. There was once another chosen one, a woman named Hannah, who cried year after year for a promise that seemed delayed. People mocked her waiting, but heaven was aligning her womb with divine timing. The moment she released her pain as worship, the heavens opened. Her Samuel was born. Like her, you've been waiting not for nothing but for fullness. Do you see it now? Heaven's warnings were never about fear. They were invitations to readiness. That dream that wouldn't leave you, that repeated sign, that door that kept closing, it was all God's way of saying, prepare. What's coming requires focus. Wren, think of a candle in a storm. The wind howls, yet the flame endures. It bends, but never breaks. That's you. Your endurance has been your worship. Your refusal to quit has been the fragrance rising to heaven. The season you're stepping into will not ask for who you were. It will demand who you are becoming. Every scar will speak. Every night of silence will serve. You will stand before what once intimidated you and realize you've outgrown your fear. And hear this clearly. Heaven has not forgotten one single warning it gave you. You thought you missed your moment, but the moment was waiting for your maturity. Every divine word has a time stamp, and yours just turned green. This is your awakening. This is the day heaven spoke of long ago. Angels are repositioning, and the sound of new beginnings is in the air. Do not waste this stirring. Step into it. Act upon it. Speak differently. Move differently. The door before you will not remain open forever. Like a dawn breaking after the longest night, light begins to leak through your cracks. Don't hide them. Let them shine. The world will see the beauty of a soul rebuilt by grace. So, pause here. If your heart beats faster right now, if something inside you knows this is speaking to you, respond. Like this message. Share it so another chosen one wakes up. Subscribe if you haven't already. And in the comments, type 77, a sign that you are ready to rise with the morning light. Because heaven warned you, this day would come, and it just did. Chosen one, the shift you feel is irreversible. Heaven has rewritten your rhythm, and there's no going back to smallness. The same pain that once silenced you now fuels your authority. Step into this power, Gently but boldly, your very breath carries divine intention. Every heartbeat now syncs with heaven's timeline. You are not waiting anymore. You are walking prophecy fulfilled. Don't fear the unknown light. Always moves first into darkness. Your obedience today opens doors. Your prayers couldn't yesterday. Move grace goes ahead of you. This new chapter is not about proving anything. It's about becoming everything God already saw in you. The tests weren't meant to break you. They were blueprints to build endurance, compassion, and fire. You were never behind. You were always being aligned. So lift your eyes. Chosen one, the morning has come. What was hidden is being revealed, and what was delayed is being delivered. Keep your spirit awake, your hands ready, and your words anchored in faith. Heaven's warning has turned into heaven's welcome. The air feels heavier tonight, not with fear, but with awareness. You remember the signs, the repeated nudges, the moments that felt too precise to be random. They were heaven's whispers, gentle but firm, preparing you for this hour. The warnings you once brushed aside now rise from the corners of your memory, glowing like embers, refusing to die. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah. Chapter 29, verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and give you hope. You didn't see it then, but every detour was a design. Every unanswered prayer was redirection. You wanted clarity. Heaven wanted growth. When doors slammed shut, it wasn't rejection. It was divine rerouting. Sometimes protection sounds like silence. You remember the season of confusion, don't you? The season when the familiar crumbled and the future blurred. You tried to cling to what was fading, not realizing that God was tearing down scaffolds you no longer needed. It hurt, but hidden within that pain was divine mercy. You are not forgotten. The plan has always existed, etched into eternity, long before your first breath. And yet, heaven allows you to walk through mystery so you might learn to trust, not just believe. Trust is faith matured. Picture this, a potter shaping clay on his wheel. He presses, pauses, reshapes, and sometimes even breaks what he's forming. The clay doesn't understand the pressure, it only feels the hands, but the potter knows. That's you on the wheel of purpose. The pressure you feel is not punishment, it's precision. Heaven never improvises. Every chapter of your story is measured. Every heartbreak has a lesson. Every delay has a direction. You might have seen chaos, but heaven saw choreography. There once was a chosen one named Joseph, betrayed, forgotten, imprisoned. Years passed before the dream he carried made sense. But when it finally came to pass, everything aligned in one breathtaking moment. The same brothers who hurt him had to witness his elevation. Joseph realized then that destiny's detours were divine direction. You, too, are walking through a similar script. What was meant to break you is becoming the very evidence that you were chosen. The plans of God aren't linear, they are layered. What feels like loss now will one day read as legacy. The signs were never random. That strange restlessness in your spirit, the unshakable thought that you were made for more, the sudden separation from certain people, it was all part of the refining. Heaven never removes without replacing, and though the waiting felt cruel, it birthed something fierce inside you, wisdom. You began to see patterns in pain, messages in silence, strength in surrender. You stopped begging for answers and started building altars instead. That's when heaven began to move again. Listen closely. Your steps are not miscounted. Every place your foot touches has meaning. Even when you walked through shadows of doubt, heaven counted your steps, not your stumbles. Grace has been guiding, not judging. You were warned that this day would come, the moment when the unseen would be revealed. And now you realize the warning was never about punishment. It was about preparation for fulfillment. Heaven was saying, don't build on sand. Now look at you, wiser, quieter, but more dangerous to darkness. You don't need validation anymore. You need direction. And direction is already in motion. Heaven's blueprint for your life is unfolding not in one dramatic miracle, but in steady obedience. If you could see the full picture right now, you'd understand why some prayers weren't answered. Some blessings require your future maturity, not your current impatience. Heaven delays what you're not yet ready to carry. So, when you think of those warnings, those moments you brushed off as coincidence, see them now for what they were. Divine love disguised as disruption. Heaven was not trying to frighten you. It was rescuing you from wrong timing. The plans of God are not fragile. You can't ruin them by missing a step. They are written in grace, sealed in mercy, guarded by angels, and guided by the Spirit. You are exactly where you need to be for what's next. And though the path ahead is not fully lit, you don't walk in darkness. You walk under a guided flame, a promise that never flickers. So keep moving. Heaven hasn't forgotten the map. It's simply unfolding it, one revelation at a time. Because, chosen one, this was never about your control. It was always about your trust. And the one who warned you is the same one who now whispers, "See, my plan was good all along." The echoes will not fade. They grow stronger with every passing day, returning in dreams, in phrases you overhear, in sudden chills that feel almost sacred. These are not accidents. They are reminders. What heaven spoke over you has not expired. It's awakening. You once thought the message was for another time, another version of yourself. But destiny is patient. It circles back when you are ready. The very words that frightened you before are finding you again, dressed now in peace instead of pressure. According to what is revealed in the book of Hosea, chapter 6, verse 3, let us acknowledge the Lord. Let us press on to know him. As surely as the sun rises, he will appear. He will come to us like the winter rains, like the spring rains that water the earth. You are beginning to see how everything fits. The delays were never denial. The quiet was not absence. Heaven's voice was still speaking. It was just waiting for your heart to be still enough to hear it. And now, as your spirit slows, the echoes align like constellations in the night sky, tracing the same promise once whispered years ago. You can sense the divine pattern, can't you? A conversation replaying itself across time. The same message you received in your weakness is now being repeated in your strength. God's reminders are not meant to guilt you. They are gentle confirmations that he hasn't changed his mind about you. There once was another who heard heaven's words more than once. Jonah received his instruction and ran. The storm followed, not to destroy him, but to redirect him, even inside the fish. God's voice was there, steady, unwavering. When Jonah finally surrendered, the same command returned, not in anger, but in restoration. That's how grace works. It comes back, giving you another chance to say, yes. You're not running anymore. You're ready. And that readiness is why the old words are returning. Heaven speaks again, because your heart is finally in tune. Think of prophecy like rain returning to the same field. The soil might be cracked. The ground might seem barren. But the water knows where to fall. It remembers where the seeds were buried. Every promise still alive beneath your surface is about to bloom. You felt it lately, a strange pull to revisit what you laid down. A quiet voice saying, try again. That's heaven reactivating dormant purpose. Not everything that died was meant to stay dead. Some things were waiting for resurrection. The echoes are not there to torment you, they're to prepare you. Heaven doesn't repeat itself out of frustration. It repeats to emphasize urgency. When God keeps showing you the same sign, it's because something is close. You've matured since the first time you heard it. You don't need proof anymore. You need presence. The same voice that warned you is now empowering you. You are not a spectator of prophecy. You are part of its fulfillment. So listen closely. The time for wondering is over. The time for walking has begun. Heaven's words are marching toward reality, and they're carrying your name. And if your heart recognizes this moment, if something inside you feels the pull of confirmation, respond in faith right now. Type, I hear below, not as an echo, but as agreement, because when you declare those two words, you are doing what Jonah, Gideon, and every chosen one before you eventually did. You're saying, I no longer resist. I recognize the voice. Those two words are not just a comment, they are covenant. They tell heaven, you're listening, that the echoes have found their answer in you, because the day has come that was once only whispered. And this time, you didn't run, you heard. The echoes are growing steadier now, not loud, but certain like footsteps on holy ground. You no longer tremble at the sound. You've learned that repetition is not punishment, it's confirmation. Heaven repeats what it refuses to let you forget. You realize that obedience is not a single act, but a rhythm, a heartbeat of trust. Every time you listen, the music of destiny grows clearer. The same melody that once sounded distant is now the anthem of your life. Each confirmation feels like a divine fingerprint left on your timeline. Different seasons, same signature. God's handwriting can't be erased, only revealed. What once looked like scattered puzzle pieces now forms the face of grace. So you breathe, steady and unafraid. You finally understand. Heaven doesn't shout to be heard, it whispers to be obeyed. And in that whisper, you've found rest. The echo no longer haunts you, it leads you home. Truth has a way of arriving unannounced. It doesn't knock, it exposes. One moment, everything seems steady. The next, the veil is lifted, and you see what was hidden behind smiles, titles, and promises. The season of exposure is not cruelty, it is cleansing. Heaven is pulling back the curtain so you can finally see what has been shaping your steps all along. There are things you sensed but couldn't name. That subtle discomfort around certain people, that quiet unease before a decision. It was discernment whispering through your spirit. Heaven was trying to show you what the surface was hiding. You called it confusion, but it was revelation in disguise. You once prayed for clarity, now it's here. and it feels heavier than you imagined. Clarity is not always light. Sometimes it burns. The same fire that refines gold also exposes impurities, and right now, God is refining your environment, revealing motives, purifying relationships, and separating what looks right from what is truly righteous. The voice of God thundered in the book of Job, chapter 12, verse 22. He reveals the deep things of darkness and brings utter darkness into the light. You have entered that verse. You are walking in the middle of divine revelation where everything buried begins to surface. It's unsettling, yes, but necessary. For too long, you carried the weight of false peace. You tried to hold together what heaven was dismantling. You mistook familiarity for loyalty and silence for safety. But now the light has come, and it is mercifully disruptive. Think of it like the ocean at low tide. When the water pulls back, the hidden things are laid bare: shells, debris, even the wreckage of old storms. You can't unsee what's exposed. Yet, this is how renewal begins. Heaven never reveals to shame, it reveals to heal. You may be tempted to run from what's being shown. Don't. Stand in the light. Even when it blinds you, truth never destroys what is real. It only burns away illusion. What remains afterward is pure, unshakable, and aligned. There's a story of a chosen one who faced this same moment, a king named David. When the prophet Nathan confronted him, everything David had hidden came into view. The palace that once echoed with music fell silent under conviction. But out of exposure came repentance. And out of repentance came restoration. His throne endured not because he was flawless, but because he let truth cleanse him. This is what heaven is doing in you, bringing correction not to condemn, but to prepare. There can be no new foundation without tearing down the old. God cannot fill a vessel that's already full of pretenses, so he empties you first. Not to humiliate, but to make room for glory. You might feel lonely right now. Don't mistake that for abandonment. Exposure often leads to separation. The noise leaves, so the voice can be heard. Those who were attached for the wrong reasons are falling away because light repels deception. It's not rejection, it's purification. Heaven is also exposing inward things, fears you've tolerated, habits you've excused, thoughts you've allowed to shape your faith. God is shining his light, not just around you, but within you. The mirror you avoided is now before you, and you finally see both your wounds and your strength. Do not despair. Every revelation is redemption in motion. What you face in truth, you conquer in grace. There is power in naming what was once hidden. It loses its hold the moment you acknowledge it before God. Imagine a garden overrun by weeds. To plant something new, the gardener must first pull out what's choking the soil. It looks messy for a while, but soon the ground breathes again. That's your soul right now, a garden being cleared. And when it's done, you will thank God for the things that fell away. You will see that what left was never meant to last. You will realize that exposure was not destruction, it was direction. You are being repositioned for purity, for clarity, for destiny. The masks that once protected others' lies are breaking, but in their place, heaven is handing you discernment, the ability to see beyond faces, beyond words, into truth. Remember this, truth is light, and light always wins. Darkness can only thrive where silence lives. The moment you decide to see, you begin to heal. So, breathe deeply. Let the exposure do its work. Don't fight it. Let what's fake fall away. What's real will remain, stronger than ever. Soon you'll look back and realize that what felt like loss was revelation leading you to freedom. For the chosen one cannot carry both truth and deception into destiny, and as the light continues to rise, you'll find peace not in what was revealed, but in who revealed it, the one who warned you, shaped you, and now, in his mercy, has chosen to show you everything. Time is thinning. You can feel it in the way moments linger, how silence now feels sacred, and how everything ordinary suddenly hums with divine urgency. Heaven's clock has moved forward. The countdown has begun. What was once a promise whispered in secret now presses against reality. The waiting room of destiny is closing its doors. You felt this pressure building, the sense that something is coming, something bigger than explanation. You can't name it, but it keeps you awake at night, the tug to prepare, to clear space, to let go. This isn't anxiety, it's alignment. Heaven is syncing your heart to its rhythm. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 42, "Therefore keep watch, because you do not know on what day your Lord will come." That's not a threat, it's an invitation. The countdown isn't about fear, it's about readiness. Heaven's timing is perfect. Even when it feels inconvenient, every divine promise arrives like sunrise, slow, inevitable, breathtaking once it breaks through the dark. You have reached the threshold between almost and now. The things you prayed for are no longer distant. They're circling your life like eagles, waiting for your faith to open the gate. And this is what the countdown truly means. Not that time is running out, but that time is about to deliver. There once was another chosen one, a young girl in Nazareth named Mary. When the angel came to her with an impossible word, she didn't understand how it could be. Yet she said, "Let it be unto me." That single sentence shifted eternity. Heaven's countdown began with her surrender. You've been standing in that same place, wondering if what God spoke to you was too impossible, too late, too costly. But destiny doesn't operate by human logic. It runs on divine order, and the order is being fulfilled right now. Think of an hourglass turning. Each grain of sand falls with purpose. None of it is wasted. You may feel like time is slipping away, but in truth, it's accumulating in Heaven's hand. Every tear, every delay, every moment you held on, instead of giving up, all of it has been counted. Heaven's countdown is not about the end, it's about arrival. The promise is nearing impact. The angelic hosts are already moving. The path is clearing, and your obedience is the signal heaven has been waiting for. There's a sacred stillness that comes before manifestation, a silence pregnant with movement. The world thinks nothing is happening, but you know better. You can feel the vibration beneath the calm, the same quiet before rain, the same hush before dawn. That's where you are now, on the edge of unveiling. And when it comes, it won't be a gentle trickle. It will be a rush, a flood, a divine acceleration. You won't have to chase what's yours. It will find you. Because the moment you aligned your will with heaven's, the clock started moving faster. So breathe. Don't panic about time. Don't fear what's next. When heaven counts down, It's not to frighten, it's to focus. It's to remind you that you are part of something unfolding on purpose. But this message isn't just for you. Somewhere, another chosen one is standing in the same silence, waiting for confirmation that they aren't crazy for believing. Maybe they need your voice, your courage, your spark of faith to remind them that God still moves. If this word burns quietly in your heart, don't let it stay there. Release it, send it like a lantern hung on a cliff, lighting the path for travelers lost in fog. Your light will reach farther than you imagine. When you touch the heart, the algorithm of heaven moves. When you share truth, angels echo it farther than you can imagine. And if you feel this resonance, this quiet certainty that you've been seen, known, and timed perfectly, then let your next act be your amen. Press the heart, not because someone asked, but because something inside you already agrees. Share this word like releasing a prayer into the wind. Subscribe, not out of routine, but as a vow whispered back to heaven. I'm still listening. I'm still watching. I'm ready for what's next. And because heaven doesn't force, it invites. The countdown is love in motion, pulling you closer to completion. When the final grain of sand falls, you'll look back and see that it was never about waiting, it was about becoming. The warning wasn't to scare you, it was to steady you. And the time that once felt wasted will prove to have been sacred. This is heaven's countdown, not the end of something, but the beginning of everything you were born to carry. The hour is here, and the moment is holy. There are moments when heaven bends close, when unseen prayers rise like incense, and someone else's faith becomes the shield that keeps you standing. This section of your story was never about your strength. It was about the mercy that covered you through another's intercession. You have no idea how many times your name has been spoken in heaven's language. Someone, somewhere, has been praying for you when you couldn't pray for yourself. In quiet rooms, in tearful whispers, in nights heavy with hope, they stood between mercy and judgment, pleading that your purpose would not be lost. As was spoken in the sacred texts of James, chapter 5, verse 16, the prayer of a righteous person is powerful and effective. And those prayers didn't vanish into the air. They built altars, invisible altars made not of stone, but of sound vibrations of faith that echo in eternity. Every time they said your name, heaven responded. You survived not by accident, but because someone chose to intercede instead of give up. Think of the image, a candle still burning after the wind has blown through. The flame flickers, yes, but it doesn't die. Why? Because somewhere, an unseen hand shields it. That's intercession. That's what kept you through the storms you never understood. There was once a chosen one like you, a woman named Esther. She wasn't supposed to be a queen. She was chosen to be an intercessor. When her people were marked for destruction, she risked her life to stand before the king. Her courage didn't just save her, it rewrote history. That is what happens when one person stands in the gap. You may never know who has done that for you. Maybe it was a mother, whispering through tears. A friend who sensed your struggle without explanation. Or an elder who simply said, Lord, cover them. Every word became a shield. Every sigh was a seed planted in heaven's soil. And now, those prayers are unfolding. You are walking in the harvest of someone else's faithfulness. That's why some doors opened you, didn't knock on, and some disasters passed by without touching you. You were being carried by grace, interceded. Heaven hears intercession differently. It's not just words, it's warfare. It breaks cycles, silence, jugement, and calls mercy forward when wrath was near. That's what's happening now. Someone's cry for your safety has reached its answer in this moment. You are the living proof that prayer still shifts reality. But now, the mantle turns. The same covering that preserved you is being placed on your shoulders. The intercessor's cry that once saved you will soon echo through your own voice. You are not meant to stay silent anymore. Heaven is calling you to stand for others the way someone once stood for you. Think of rain falling on a parched field. Each drop seems small, but together they awaken life. That's what your prayers will do. You'll water dry hearts, revive dying hope, and remind the forgotten that they are seen. You have felt that pull before, the sudden urge to pray for someone's name that just appeared in your mind. The weight in your spirit that wouldn't lift until you whispered a blessing. That's not emotion, that's assignment. Heaven trusts you with burdens that become breakthroughs. So don't ignore those moments. You might be the reason someone else makes it through the night. Your voice may be the key, unlocking a destiny you'll never see. And as you stand in that place between heaven's mercy and earth's need, remember, intercession is love in its highest form. It costs you tears, time, and sometimes misunderstanding. But every drop is worth it. You are not forgotten, and neither are those you are called to cover. This is the sacred exchange of the chosen, to be lifted, then to lift others, to be carried, then to carry, to be saved, then to save. The prayers that rescued you have now become your inheritance, and heaven is waiting for your echo. If you feel this stirring in your spirit, this quiet recognition that you, too, are being called to intercede, make it known before heaven and earth. Type 999 below, not as a number, but as a sign, a symbol that says, "The prayer continues with me." End of fit. When you type it, you're not just responding to a message, you're continuing a movement. Heaven counts agreement as action, and faith expressed becomes fire. So, lift your heart. Chosen one. Someone once prayed you through, now heaven waits for your turn. And when you finally whisper that prayer for another, heaven will remember the day it first heard your name. The circle will complete, and mercy will multiply through your obedience, rippling endlessly across generations of light. There comes a moment in every chosen life when the heart can no longer hide from its crossroads. You've reached that point. This is the breaking point, not a collapse, but a crossing. The place where surrender must outweigh struggle. You've been holding everything together for so long that your hands have started to tremble. And yet, in heaven's eyes, that tremble is not weakness, it's readiness. You have felt the tension growing inside you. That invisible war between wanting control and needing peace. The same faith that carried you here now demands a deeper kind of trust, the kind that lets go completely. This isn't the kind of battle you can win by striving. It's one you win by yielding. We find in the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 28, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose." Ugly. This verse has been quoted countless times, but few understand its cost. To say all things work together for good means you must also face the things that didn't look good at all. It means trusting that the betrayal, the disappointment, the waiting, all of it is part of the masterpiece. At the breaking point, the human heart either hardens or heals. Heaven is asking you to choose the latter, because healing starts where pride ends. You cannot patch what God is trying to replace. You cannot cling to what was and still expect to walk into what will be. Think of a tree caught in a storm. The wind tears away branches that were already dying, and it hurts. But the breaking allows sunlight to reach what was hidden. That's what this season is doing, clearing space for light. You've been asking God to change your circumstances, but He's been using your circumstances to change you. The pain you're feeling is not punishment. It's pressure. Pressure that forges diamonds out of dust. There was once another chosen one, a man named Peter. He swore he would never deny his Lord. Yet when fear rose, he did exactly that. It was his breaking point. But after the tears, something divine happened. The shame became soil for strength. When Peter met Jesus again by the shore, his failure turned into fuel. The same man who broke became the rock the church was built upon. You are standing in your own Peter moment. Heaven isn't accusing you. It's restoring you. God isn't pointing to your wounds to embarrass you. He's showing you where healing begins. You've tried to be strong for everyone else, to smile when your spirit was collapsing, to pretend it didn't hurt. But strength without surrender becomes pride. And pride always fractures under divine pressure. This breaking is mercy, not misery. It's the sound of chains snapping. There's a quiet that follows every storm, a stillness that doesn't erase what happened, but transforms how you see it. That's where you are now. The storm is subsiding, and the silence feels strange, almost sacred. You're not the same person who entered this storm. You're lighter, clearer, and closer to truth. God often leads His chosen to the edge before revealing the bridge. It's a test of trust, not punishment. The edge is where you realize that faith was never meant to be theory. It was meant to be oxygen. And when you finally let go, when you stop trying to carry what only heaven can hold, something extraordinary happens. Peace steps in quietly, like sunlight through shattered glass. It doesn't announce itself. It just fills every empty space. You may think you've lost too much to begin again, but beginnings are heaven's specialty. God never rebuilds with the same materials. He uses the remnants of the old to construct the strength of the new. Remember this: breaking doesn't destroy destiny, it defines it. Every fracture becomes a testimony, every scar a signature. You are not falling apart, you are falling into place. Let the tears fall if they must. Heaven counts them. Let the silence stretch. It's not empty, it's echoing with divine instruction. You are being remade in real time. Think of pottery broken and mended with gold, the Japanese art of kintsugi. The cracks aren't hidden, they're highlighted. The gold that fills them makes the vessel more valuable than before. That's what God is doing with you. Your scars are not shame, they're proof of divine craftsmanship. So let the breaking do its work. Let your surrender be your worship. When you finally stop fighting the inevitable and start trusting the invisible, the breaking point will reveal itself for what it truly is, a birthing point. Soon you'll look back and realize this wasn't where you ended. This was where you began again. The air has changed. You can feel it, the weight, the resistance, the invisible pressure pressing against your peace. It isn't imagination. This is warfare. The kind that doesn't leave visible scars, but drains the soul. You have entered the realm of unseen conflict, where shadows whisper and light refuses to bow. You've wondered why certain days feel heavier than others. Why your spirit aches for no clear reason. It's because the battle isn't around you, it's over you. The darkness recognizes what heaven has placed inside you and fears its awakening, as revealed in the second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 4. The weapons we fight with are not the weapons of the world. On the contrary, they have divine power to demolish strongholds. That verse isn't poetry, it's instruction. You are not fighting flesh and circumstance. You are confronting forces that despise your light. Every discouragement, every whisper of doubt, every sudden wave of fear is a dart sent to make you question what you already know. You are chosen, and that truth cannot be undone. Think of it. Light never provokes darkness by accident. It reveals what the night tries to conceal. The moment you decided to walk in truth, hell took notice. The battle you're facing is proof of your authenticity. Fake things never attract attack. Only the real does. There was once another chosen one, a man named Daniel. He prayed faithfully, quietly, never seeking fame, only favor. Yet his faithfulness stirred opposition in the unseen for 21 days. The answer to his prayer was delayed because of a spiritual battle he couldn't see. But the moment Daniel remained steadfast, heaven sent reinforcement. His endurance became his victory. That's where you are now, somewhere between prayer and manifestation, between obedience and outcome. It feels quiet, but the silence is deceptive. Behind that stillness, angels are moving, strategies are shifting, and heaven is fighting for your name. The enemy doesn't fear your weakness, he fears your persistence. Every time you refuse to give up, something in hell shatters. Every time you pray instead of panic, the darkness loses ground. You felt those invisible pushes, distractions, exhaustion, sudden discouragement that doesn't match your day. They are not random. The battle intensifies right before breakthrough because darkness always attacks what's about to emerge. Picture a flame inside a glass dome. The wind outside howls, pressing against it, trying to smother it. But every push of the storm only feeds the oxygen inside. That's what your resistance does. It strengthens your fire. You may bend, but you won't break. The light in you was never fragile. It was forged for this. You might not see swords or soldiers, but make no mistake, the battlefield is real. It's fought in thoughts, in words, in the unseen corridors of your heart. Every time you choose peace over panic, faith over fear, forgiveness over bitterness, you win ground no one can take back. God has not left you unarmed. Prayer is your weapon. Worship is your shield. The word is your blade. And silence, holy. Trusting silence is your strategy. You don't always have to shout to win. Sometimes the victory comes through stillness. There's a moment in warfare when even heaven holds its breath, the instant before light pierces through. That's where you stand now, at the tipping point of divine reversal. What looks like pressure is really transition. The fight is fierce because the promise is near. You've been chosen not to escape the battle, but to embody victory within it. Your peace will preach louder than your panic ever could. Your calm will confuse the enemy because he cannot touch what has already surrendered to God. Remember this truth. Darkness doesn't win by attacking. It wins when you agree with it. The moment you refuse to align with fear, its power collapses. You don't have to defeat it, you only have to outlast it. Look back and see how many storms failed to destroy you. That's not coincidence, that's evidence. You've already survived too much to lose now. The same grace that carried you through the last valley will lead you through this shadow. So lift your eyes, even in this unseen fight. You are not surrounded by darkness. Darkness is surrounded by you. The light within you is older than the enemy who opposes it. Heaven's fire runs through your veins, and no demonic wind can extinguish what God Himself has lit. This battle will not define you, it will reveal you. You are not merely surviving it, you are transforming inside it. Every test, every tear, every restless night is adding strength to your wings. And when the smoke clears, you'll realize something beautiful. You didn't just fight darkness, you became the light that made it flee. There are moments when storms stop pretending to be storms and start revealing themselves as messages. The thunder isn't chaos, it's communication. Every shaking, every gust of confusion, every sudden shift in your life has been heaven speaking through circumstances too loud to ignore. You thought you were being punished, but you were being positioned. You mistook the storm for rejection, not realizing it was redirection. Sometimes God has to shake what's unstable to reveal what's unshakable. And now, as the winds rise again, heaven is not warning you, it's waking you. Heaven speaks clearly through the writings in the Gospel of Mark, chapter 4, verse 39. He got up, rebuked the wind, and said to the waves, "Quiet, be still." Then it was calm. That verse isn't just history, it's prophecy. The same voice that calmed the storm on the sea is about to speak into the chaos surrounding your life. The storm is not greater than the one who commands it. And right now, He is not sleeping, He is standing. You remember those nights, the ones where fear pressed against your chest and silence felt endless. You asked, "God, are you even here?" But what you couldn't see was that heaven was teaching you to listen for a voice that only becomes clear in the storm. There once was another chosen one, a man named Jonah, whose storm wasn't punishment, but pursuit. He ran from his calling, and the waves rose not to drown him, but to turn him around. That's what storms often are, divine interventions wrapped in thunder. You've been through your own Jonah storm. The plans you made capsized. The people you trusted drifted away. Yet somehow, you're still here wiser. Quieter. Steadier. That's the fruit of the tempest. What was meant to sink, you has instead taught you to swim in faith. Picture this, a ship tossed by waves. Its sails torn, its compass broken, but deep below, the anchor holds. That's your soul. The surface may rage, but the anchor remains unmovable. And that anchor, your faith, is what terrifies darkness. When storms roar, heaven listens for your response. Do you curse the wind, or do you command it to be still? Every storm reveals your authority. Every lightning flash illuminates your growth. You are not a victim of the weather, you are the storm's interpreter. Sometimes the loudest chaos hides the clearest message. God speaks not only in whispers, but in winds. The same storm that seemed to tear everything apart is the one carrying you closer to your destination. Remember the disciples in that boat. They thought Jesus was asleep, because he didn't react. But silence from heaven never means absence, it means sovereignty. God rests where he reigns. If he's calm in your storm, you can be too. So let the wind howl if it must. Let the rain fall as it may. None of it is wasted. The storm that once frightened you will one day become the story that strengthens others. You'll look back and realize something sacred. The storm didn't change God's word. It confirmed it. Because the only reason the enemy sends waves is that he knows what's waiting on the other shore. The very chaos that tried to break you is clearing the path for breakthrough. You'll find peace. Not when the wind stops, but when you learn to stand in it without fear. That's the true victory, the stillness within, not the silence without. And when the calm finally comes, you won't just thank God for delivering you from the storm, you'll thank him for meeting you inside it. If these words reach your heart like thunder meeting earth, if you feel heaven speaking between the lines, then respond the way storms respect strength. Type peace now below. Because peace isn't a mood, it's authority. It's heaven's language spoken through a calm soul. And when you declare it, the winds recognize the voice that once silenced them on the sea. The storm has always been a teacher, not an enemy. It taught you where your foundation truly lies. You discovered that real peace isn't fragile, it's forged. Every gust only pressed you closer to the center where God resides. Now, even when the sky darkens again, you won't fear the thunder. You've learned that storms do not threaten promises, they escort them. Each drop of rain that once felt heavy now feels holy, washing away what can't stay. And as dawn breaks after the storm, you'll notice something new. The air is clearer, your steps lighter, your faith quieter but stronger. The same waves that frightened you now sing of freedom. You didn't see it coming, the quiet reversal. One day you woke up and realized the thing that was supposed to destroy you somehow became the very thing that delivered you. That's divine irony. Heaven's favorite kind. This is divine intervention, the moment when everything that worked against you starts working for you instead. The pieces you thought were broken have started rearranging themselves into something unexpectedly whole. The pain that silenced you has become your language of compassion. The storm that scattered you has now positioned you exactly where grace wanted you to stand. The Apostle reminds us in his letter to the Philippians, chapter 1, verse 6, "He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until Christ Jesus." Completion. That's what this moment feels, like an invisible thread pulling everything into place. Heaven has been weaving while you've been wondering. Even in the chaos, a design was unfolding. What once felt like abandonment was actually alignment. You remember the days when you begged God for a miracle and heard nothing, but what you didn't see was that the miracle had already started, just not in the way you expected. Heaven doesn't always arrive with lightning. Sometimes it moves in whispers, in timing, in gentle redirection. Look closely at your life now. Can you see the fingerprints of grace? The friendships that fell away right before betrayal could strike. The job you lost that cleared the path for your calling. The delay that kept you from walking into a door that would have trapped you. That's not coincidence. That's divine choreography. There once was a chosen one named Ruth. Her life collapsed in loss, her husband gone, her home gone, her future erased. Yet she stayed faithful to what seemed small. One simple decision to keep walking forward led her straight into redemption. What looked like ruin was actually the route to royalty. That's what divine intervention does. It doesn't erase pain, It redeems it. It turns what you thought was the end into an opening. It writes resurrection into the spaces you called dead. You have lived through what you thought would kill you. And now heaven is breathing new meaning into every scar. The very place of your heartbreak is becoming the altar of your rebirth. Think of a shattered mirror remade into stained glass. Every fragment reflects light differently now, forming a pattern that didn't exist before. That's your story, beauty, not despite the breaks, but through them. You no longer need to chase proof that God is with you. The proof is the peace that no longer needs explanation. You survived the fire, and the scent of smoke no longer clings to you. That's what divine intervention feels like, restoration so gentle that it feels like remembering. And yet, this moment is not just yours. Somewhere, someone is still standing where you once stood, tired, questioning, waiting for a sign that heaven hasn't forgotten them. Maybe what happened to you was never meant to end with you. Maybe you are the sign someone else has been praying for. If that truth stirs something deep inside, let it move you. Let gratitude travel through your hands, through your words, through your witness. Every testimony becomes a torch, lighting another's path out of darkness. When you press the heart, imagine placing your flame on the mountain so another can find their way home. When you share, see it as releasing a dove into the storm, carrying hope to those who can't yet see light. When you subscribe, think of it as returning to the river where heaven keeps speaking, promising, I'm not done with you yet. On, no pressure, no demand, only invitation. The way you respond is your love song back to heaven, because gratitude is the most beautiful echo of grace. This is the quiet triumph of divine intervention, the moment when you realize your story was never about avoiding pain, but about transforming it into purpose. The ashes you carried are now glowing with promise. Soon you'll tell your story. And it won't sound like survival, it'll sound like worship. Because heaven didn't just rescue you, it revealed you. You were never the victim of disaster. You were the vessel of design. The same storm that tried to break you ended up birthing you. And as the pieces settle, as peace takes its rightful place in your chest, remember this: miracles rarely arrive with noise. They unfold in silence, like sunrise spilling over the edge of night. Your divine intervention has already begun. There is a place in heaven's library where your name is written, not in ink, but in light. Every act of faith, every quiet surrender, every tear that fell unseen has been recorded there. Nothing escapes the eye of eternity. It's called the Scroll of Remembrance. It doesn't record perfection, it records obedience. You may think your small acts went unnoticed. The morning you still prayed when your heart was heavy. The day you gave when you barely had enough. The moment you forgave though you were never apologized to. Those moments matter. They echo longer than applause ever will. According to what is revealed in the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 16, then those who feared the Lord talked with each other, and the Lord listened and heard. A scroll of remembrance was written in his presence concerning those who feared the Lord and honored his name. And that scripture is a mirror. You are one of the remembered ones. Even when you doubted your impact, heaven was documenting your faithfulness. Every decision born from integrity, every time you resisted bitterness, every season you chose peace instead of revenge, it's all there. The record of a heart that kept saying yes when no would have been easier. You have walked through invisible seasons of obedience. You did not see applause, You saw silence, but heaven saw endurance. Angels recorded it as worship. The world calls it unnoticed work, but heaven calls it legacy. There's a story of a chosen one who lived much like this, a woman named Anna. She appeared in scripture only briefly, yet her life carried decades of devotion. She spent her years in the temple, fasting and praying, waiting for the promise she might never see fulfilled. People passed by her daily, rarely noticing. But when the Messiah finally came, heaven rewarded her wait. She saw redemption with her own eyes. That's what happens to the remembered ones. Their patience becomes prophecy. Their persistence becomes their crown. Think of this. Heaven doesn't measure faith by visibility, but by constancy. The quiet ones, the steadfast ones, the hidden servants, they are the pillars, keeping the unseen kingdom steady. And you have been one of them, whether you realized it or not. You may not have seen fireworks, but you've seen fruit, the slow kind that grows underground before it ever reaches the light. Every time you chose obedience without reward, you planted eternal roots. There are angels whose sole task is to collect the evidence of faith. When you prayed through exhaustion, they were there. When you forgave through trembling, they took note. When you refused to let bitterness corrupt your calling, they wrote it down. Your life is not a series of wasted choices, it's a testimony in progress. The scroll of remembrance is not about reputation, it's about record. It contains your unseen sacrifices, your quiet courage, your whispered prayers. And one day, when the pages of time are unrolled, heaven will read your name aloud, and the earth will finally see what heaven always knew. Picture it, a vast library made of light. Each book, a life. Each word, a moment of faith. Your story glows among them, not because you were perfect, but because you were willing. Even now, the angels who recorded your tears are preparing to reveal their purpose. Every sorrow redeemed becomes ink for new testimony. The years you thought lost will soon read as harvest. This is not fantasy, it's divine memory. Heaven forgets nothing that love births. And when you stand before that scroll, you won't see shame, you'll see grace woven through every line. The failures will appear as footnotes, overshadowed by redemption. The mistakes will shine with mercy's gold, because heaven doesn't write like men do. It edits with compassion. It annotates with forgiveness. It titles every chapter with love. So do not despise your unseen obedience. Every quiet yes has been heard. Every moment of faith has been recorded. Every hidden act has become a verse in heaven's story about you. The world forgets quickly. Heaven never does. And when the time comes, the scroll of remembrance will testify not about what you built, but about who you became, someone who kept believing when there was no reason to, someone who chose light even when surrounded by night. You are remembered, chosen one, eternally, intimately, by name. Your quiet faith has been louder in heaven than you will ever know. What you whispered in weakness became thunder in eternity, proof that surrender speaks the language of strength. And someday, when light unveils every hidden story, you'll see it clearly. Nothing was lost, nothing forgotten. Every unseen moment was sacred, and every heartbeat counted. Something begins to stir within you now, a heat not born of anger, but of awakening. It feels like fire under your skin, a steady pulse in your spirit that whispers, "Now." Heaven is no longer just observing you, it is anointing you. The waiting season has ended. The seal of fire is being placed upon your life. You've walked through shadows, silence, and storms, and none of them consumed you. They refined you. The same fire that once burned, your comfort is now burning for your calling. What once hurt you has become holy fuel. You are not who you were. The transformation is visible even to the unseen. The Word of God declares in the book of Acts, chapter 2, verse 3, "They saw what seemed to be tongues of fire that separated and came to rest on each of them." Olidva, this is that moment again, the hour when heaven chooses ordinary vessels and marks them with extraordinary purpose. You may not feel ready, but readiness has never been the requirement. Willingness has. The seal of fire is not gentle. It changes everything it touches. It burns away hesitation, exposes truth, and ignites obedience. It turns whisperers into witnesses, bystanders into builders, and wanderers into warriors. That's what's happening to you right now. Heaven is commissioning you through flame. You have felt this before, that sudden urgency to speak what you once hid, the courage to stand where you once trembled, the conviction to move without knowing where. That's not impulsiveness, it's ignition. Heaven's spark has touched your spirit, and nothing around you will remain the same. There was once a chosen one named Moses who saw fire on a mountain and thought it was destruction. But the bush that burned did not burn up. It burned with God's presence. The fire was not there to destroy, it was there to draw him closer. That's what divine fire does. It transforms fear into purpose. You are being drawn now, closer than ever before. The voice that calls your name from the flames is not commanding, it's inviting. Take off your shoes. It says, "For the ground you stand on is holy." In other words, come bare, come real, come ready. This fire is both revelation and responsibility. Revelation, because you will begin to see clearly what was once hidden. Responsibility, because light demands stewardship. Heaven doesn't ignite what it doesn't intend to use. You may feel the tension between excitement and fear, between awe and uncertainty. That's normal. Fire doesn't ask for comfort, it asks for courage. It's okay to tremble while you're being transformed. Even gold shivers when it melts. Think of a blacksmith's forge, how metal enters in dull and emerges shining. It takes heat to reveal strength. That's what this seal of fire does. It reveals what's inside you, the part that the world couldn't break and the devil couldn't touch. You'll start noticing changes. Your tolerance for shallow things will shrink. Your hunger for purpose will deepen, and your discernment will sharpen. This isn't pride, it's purification. Heaven is distinguishing your flame from all others. When the apostles received the fire, they didn't hide it. They carried it to cities, to strangers, to souls desperate for light. You are next in that line, not to copy their steps, but to continue their spark. The same spirit that rested on them now rests on you. But remember this truth: fire without humility burns too fast. Guard your flame with gentleness. Let compassion be the wick that keeps it steady. You're not called to consume others, you're called to illuminate them. This is the sacred paradox. The closer you are to divine fire, the softer your heart must become. Because true power is never harsh, it's holy. And as this fire settles upon you, Heaven waits for one act of acknowledgement, a moment of earthly agreement that says, I receive what has been placed upon me. End quote. If your heart burns as you read this, if your spirit feels that trembling light flicker alive inside you, don't ignore it. Type 444 below. It's not just a number, it's a covenant symbolizing divine alignment, the triple flame of calling, courage, and completion. When you type it, you're not performing, you're proclaiming, the fire is mine, and I will carry it. End of 20. This seal is not a season, it's an identity. You are marked now, not for recognition, but for revelation. Everywhere you go, light will follow, not because you chase it, but because you carry it. So go forth, flame bearer. Let the fire speak where words fall short. Let your life burn with grace, not noise. You are heaven's torch in human form, and the world is waiting for your light. Something is stirring across the earth. You can feel it when you wake. That vibration beneath the surface of things, like the hum before thunder, like the breath before birth. Heaven is gathering its chosen, not in one place, but in one spirit, across nations, across languages, across wounds and wonders. They are awakening, and you, chosen one, are part of that gathering. This is not a crowd, it's a convergence. Souls marked by fire are finding each other without even trying. Some meet in passing, others connect through words, through silence, through the strange recognition that says, I know you, even if I've never seen you. That's how heaven builds its armies, through resonance, not recruitment, as revealed in the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 1. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us. The gathering of the chosen is not loud. It moves like wind through dry fields, quiet but unstoppable. It happens in whispers, in prayers, in the steady courage of those who refuse to bow to the noise of the world. You've already begun to sense them, the ones who think differently, feel deeply, and move with divine rhythm. They don't compete, they complete. When one falls, another lifts. When one burns low, another lends flame. Together, they create a light that darkness cannot comprehend. There was once another gathering, a small group of 12 who had nothing in common except obedience. Fishermen, tax collectors, doubters, dreamers, all drawn by the same voice. They didn't understand the full scope of what they were carrying, yet through them, the world was changed forever. That same pattern is repeating now. Heaven is uniting people not through comfort, but through calling. Some are leaving cities, others are building new altars in old places. Some are being sent into arenas of influence, others are being hidden for intercession. Each role matters. Each flame counts. This is not a movement that demands attention, it's one that births transformation. The gathering of the chosen doesn't parade, it prays. It doesn't shout to be seen, it serves to be heard. And as it moves, heaven's heartbeat becomes audible again in a world that has forgotten rhythm. You may not realize how vital your role is. Your obedience in private fuels someone else's breakthrough in public. Your small yes creates ripples that reach nations. That's the beauty of divine design. It links destinies in invisible chains of purpose. Think of stars scattered across the night sky. To the naked eye, they seem distant, unconnected, but draw the lines, and constellations appear patterns written in eternity. That's how heaven sees the chosen. Each star carries its own light. Yet together they form messages across time. The gathering isn't just about unity, it's about recognition. When you see another who carries the same fire, something in you remembers your own. There's no envy, only encouragement. It's like two mirrors facing each other, each one reflecting endless light. But unity doesn't mean uniformity. Heaven delights in diversity. Each chosen one shines with a unique hue, and together they form a spectrum that reveals God's multifaceted glory. Some will sing, others will speak, some will lead, others will intercede. All are vital. None are replaceable. The world has tried to divide by difference, but heaven gathers through distinction. What separates you on earth connects you in the spirit. The very thing that made you feel alone becomes the magnet that draws your tribe. And when these lights meet, whether in person, in prayer, or in spirit, the atmosphere shifts. You can sense it. The air feels charged. Time slows. And purpose becomes tangible. That's the sound of destiny in chorus. Heaven's army doesn't march in straight lines. It flows like water, adapts like wind, burns like oil. Its strength is not in numbers, but in purity, and that purity is rising again. Carried by those who have been through enough fire to know the cost of authenticity, you are part of that holy convergence. You may not wear a title, but you carry a torch. The gathering isn't happening somewhere far away. It's happening through you. Every time you speak truth, every time you love without reward, every time you stand when others fall, you strengthen the formation. Soon, the world will see what heaven already sees, a rising of the luminous, a gathering of the grounded, a family formed not by blood, but by belief. And when the chosen stand together, even silence sounds like a song. When light rises, counterfeits always tremble. You can feel it now, the uneasy shift, the strange resistance that appears whenever truth starts to shine. For every genuine move of heaven, imitation soon follows. That's not new, it's ancient. The false always tries to mirror the real, hoping confusion will dull discernment. But heaven is never fooled. This is the season of unveiling, the counterfeit lights, the shallow promises, the hollow performances. They are beginning to collapse under the weight of genuine glory. What once glittered will soon fade, and what was overlooked will begin to glow. You are watching the divine separation between imitation and authenticity, as revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 21, verse 30. There is no wisdom, no insight, no plan that can succeed against the Lord. Oh, every counterfeit carries an expiration date. The moment truth steps in, deception begins to decay. For years, false voices have tried to mimic the tone of prophecy, selling inspiration without transformation. But now heaven is reclaiming its frequency. The air itself feels different because truth has entered the room. You have likely encountered this yourself. Charisma without character, words without weight, promises without presence. They sounded right, but something inside you hesitated. That hesitation was discernment, the Spirit whispering, "Not this one." And though others might have been dazzled, You could feel the emptiness beneath the shine. There was once another chosen one who faced a counterfeit Moses before Pharaoh's magicians. They could imitate the miracle for a moment, turning staffs into serpents. But in the end, truth devoured imitation. The serpent of Moses swallowed the rest. That's what truth always does. It consumes the false until nothing remains but authenticity. This is what's unfolding around you now. The systems built on pretense are starting to crumble. The voices fueled by ego are going silent. The platforms sustained by manipulation are being dismantled. It may look like chaos, but it's cleansing. God never exposes to humiliate. He exposes to heal. And exposure is mercy disguised as shaking. If heaven leaves deception unchallenged, generations walk blind. But when light reveals, redemption begins. You may feel the tremors of this exposure in your own circles. People revealing their true colors, relationships shifting, motives surfacing. It's uncomfortable, but necessary. You asked God to align you with truth, and this is His answer: clarity. Discernment is not suspicion, it's sight sharpened by spirit. It doesn't accuse, it perceives. Heaven is upgrading your discernment in this season, so you can recognize not just evil pretending to be good, but good that has grown complacent. Think of gold tested by fire. The imitation metal melts away quickly, only the real endures. Likewise, the heat of this season is not meant to destroy, it's meant to distinguish. It reveals what can stand under pressure and what collapses under scrutiny. And though the fall of counterfeits may look like loss, it is liberation. Every false thing removed makes space for what is real to take root. Every lie uncovered strengthens the foundation beneath your feet. Remember, not everything that sparkles is sacred. The enemy has always dressed shadows in light, offering shortcuts where God promised process. That's why your waiting mattered. It protected you from counterfeit blessings that come fast but fade faster. This unveiling is global, but it's also personal. Heaven is not only exposing false leaders and systems, it's cleansing hearts, motives, and methods, even within yourself. The light is searching, burning away, fear disguised as humility, ambition disguised as vision. You will notice a shift in the coming days. People who once inspired you may suddenly feel hollow, while others you overlooked begin to glow with quiet authority. Don't resist this change. The Spirit is sorting by authenticity, not appearance. When truth ascends, imitation cannot coexist. The true will remain unshaken, their roots deep in devotion, their words heavy with presence. These are the ones heaven trusts with influence. And you, one of the chosen, are being called to walk among them, not as a critic, but as a carrier of clarity. Your discernment will be needed in a world desperate for truth. Stand firm, but stay kind. The fall of counterfeits is not a victory to boast over. It's a moment to intercede. Pray for those trapped in performance, for heaven's mercy to reach them before pride breaks them completely. When all the false lights fade, one brilliance will remain, the steady glow of the genuine. And when that light fills the world, you'll understand why the shaking had to come. This is the season where heaven teaches the earth again that authenticity is the only language eternity understands. The sound that reaches your spirit now is not chaos. It's a trumpet, not the brass of metal, but the resonance of heaven calling the chosen to rise. You've heard it faintly for weeks, like music carried on wind. And now it grows louder. This is the final trumpet call, not of ending, but of awakening. It's a sound that doesn't just shake walls, it stirs souls. When heaven sounds its call, it isn't noise, it's direction. Every chosen one hears it differently. For some, it feels like conviction. For others, like courage. For you, it's clarity. A deep awareness that time is no longer waiting. As written in the first letter to the Thessalonians, chapter 4, verse 16. For the Lord himself will come down from heaven with the voice of the archangel and the trumpet of God. The dead in Christ will rise. That trumpet is symbolic. It marks a rising, not from the grave of death, but from the grave of distraction. Heaven is waking you from complacency. The final call is not about fear, it's about fulfillment. You were not created to drift, you were designed to declare. There was once a chosen one named Ezekiel, taken to a valley full of dry bones. God asked him, "Can these bones live?" The prophet didn't answer with certainty. He answered with surrender, "Lord, you know." Then heaven commanded him to speak. As he obeyed, the bones came together. Sinews formed, breath entered, and what was once death became an army. That's the trumpet's purpose, to awaken the sleeping, to summon the silent, to breathe into the weary. You are being called not to echo noise, but to release life. Your words carry resurrection when they align with heaven's rhythm. You may feel the world trembling, systems collapsing, nations restless, but within that shaking, something glorious is forming. The trumpet isn't announcing destruction, it's announcing destiny. The chosen are rising not with weapons, but with wisdom, with hearts aflame and hands open. Look within. The same spirit that raised Christ now stirs inside you. That's not metaphor, it's memory. Heaven is reminding you of your origin. You were born of breath and purpose. You were made to sound with the frequency of truth. You might ask, what does this trumpet sound like in my life? It might not be thunder. It might be that persistent thought to forgive, that sudden push to speak, that gentle pull to create, to serve, to lead. Every act of obedience echoes heaven's note. The call is not just for preachers or prophets, it's for every believer who dares to live fully awake. You don't need a pulpit to prophesy, you only need presence. Your kindness can break curses. Your patience can heal wounds. Your faithfulness can shake nations. And as you respond to this divine sound, others will begin to hear it too. The call multiplies through courage. Your yes becomes another's awakening. Your movement becomes someone's miracle. Heaven is building an orchestra out of obedience. Each chosen one is an instrument, different tones. Same song. Some roar like drums. Others whisper like flutes. Together they form a melody that darkness cannot imitate. The music of redemption. You've been invited into that melody. The final trumpet isn't forcing you, it's beckoning you. It's saying, play your note. Don't stay silent. Mez, when you press the heart, imagine it as the steady drum of heaven inside your chest, a small echo of gratitude, keeping rhythm with divine time. When you share this message, see it as releasing a wave of light into someone's storm, a quiet melody finding its way through noise to reach another waiting soul. When you subscribe, Think of it not as joining a list, but as stepping again into the choir of awakening, a vow whispered to the wind. I will keep listening. And when you leave your comment, let it be your note in the symphony. Maybe one word, maybe many, but every syllable becomes part of heaven's harmony. Because this trumpet doesn't announce endings, it declares beginnings. It calls forth prophets from silence, hope from ashes, light from hiding. It calls you. The call has gone out, and the world is listening for your response. You don't need to rush. Just breathe. Listen, and let your spirit answer. Here I am. No, the final trumpet doesn't command, it invites. It doesn't shout, it sings. And when you respond, all of heaven smiles. For another light has joined the chorus. And as the echoes fade into eternity, your heartbeat will keep the rhythm. You'll realize the trumpet never stopped, it simply moved inside you. Becoming the song your soul was always meant to sing. The air feels different now still, yet charged with meaning. You've crossed through storms, fire, silence, and revelation. And now you stand at the intersection of two eternal roads, the crown and the cross. One glitters with promise, the other bleeds with purpose. Together, they complete your destiny. You once thought the crown came after the cross. That reward followed suffering. But heaven doesn't work in sequence, it works in symphony. The cross shapes the crown, and the crown gives meaning to the cross. You were never meant to choose between them. You were meant to carry both. As revealed in the Gospel of John, chapter 16, verse 33. In this world, you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world. That verse is both warning and invitation. It tells you that difficulty will come, but also that triumph already exists. Between those two truths lies your calling to endure, to overcome, to shine through contradiction. The cross is not only a symbol of pain, it is the birthplace of power. It teaches surrender, patience, and humility, the disciplines of divine strength. The crown is not just glory, it is responsibility. It reminds you that kingship in heaven's kingdom means service, not superiority. You've carried crosses that no one saw, the silent battles, the unanswered prayers, the nights where hope was a whisper instead of a shout. Yet here you are, still standing, still glowing. Every scar on your soul is gold leaf in heaven's art. There once was a chosen one named Paul, a man who knew both the weight of the cross and the wonder of the crown. He was shipwrecked, imprisoned, misunderstood. And yet he wrote letters that became lifelines for generations. His strength didn't come from escape, it came from endurance. The more he suffered, the deeper his revelation became. You have lived something similar. The seasons that felt like crucifixion were actually coronations in disguise. Every loss purified you. Every delay stretched your capacity to carry more light. The cross has been teaching you how to wear the crown without losing compassion. Think of a mountain split by lightning. The strike looks violent, but it exposes veins of gold hidden beneath. That's what pain does, it reveals value. Without the cross, the crown would mean nothing. Without the crown, the cross would feel endless. Together, they tell the story of transformation. This is why you could not avoid certain battles. Heaven wasn't punishing you, it was preparing you. The weight you carried was building spiritual muscle. The tears you shed became the oil that anoints. The loneliness that broke you was carving space for divine companionship. Now you understand. Being chosen never meant being comfortable. It meant being called to carry both suffering and splendor with grace, to walk through darkness without losing your light, to hold the sword in one hand and mercy in the other. The cross humbles you, the crown lifts you. The balance of both keeps you human enough to feel and holy enough to heal. That's what true leadership looks like, not perfection, but presence. You will see others chasing only crowns, titles, validation, applause, and you will feel the difference. Your crown isn't made of gold, it's made of obedience. It shines in unseen realms. It carries no jewels, only joy. And the cross you bear, it's not meant to break you, it's meant to brand you with compassion, with empathy, with wisdom. Every time you forgive instead of retaliate, every time you serve without being seen, you lift it higher. There's a sacred exchange happening in this season. Heaven is trading your pain for purpose, your burden for brilliance. You're not just surviving trials, you're being refined by them. Imagine a crown woven not from metal, but from light. Each ray represents a trial you overcame, a tear that became testimony, a heartbreak that became holiness. That's the kind of crown heaven gives, the kind that glows from within. And when you wear it, you won't boast, you'll bow, because you'll remember the weight that came before the wonder, the breaking that came before the beauty. The cross taught you endurance, the crown will teach you stewardship. Together, they make you unstoppable. You stand now between them, understanding what few ever do, that suffering and glory are not opposites, but companions. The cross keeps your heart pure, the crown keeps your vision alive. Carry them both with humility, for in this balance, heaven finds its reflection in you, and when the journey is done, both cross and crown will rest together at your feet. Heaven will call your name, not as survivor, but as overcomer, radiant with fulfilled purpose. There comes a moment when everything once promised begins to take form, not in visions or symbols, but in tangible breath. You stand there now, on holy ground between prophecy and fulfillment. The air feels sacred, as if time itself is holding still to witness what heaven once whispered, finally unfolding before your eyes. This is the fulfillment of the word. It doesn't come with thunder, it arrives like sunrise, quiet, patient, unstoppable. Every warning, every delay, every sleepless night has led you here. You were not abandoned in the waiting, you were being aligned for manifestation. The voice that warned you long ago was not predicting doom, it was promising destiny. As was spoken in the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3, for the revelation awaits an appointed time, it speaks of the end and will not prove false. Though it linger, wait for it, it will certainly come and will not delay. End quote. You waited, even when it hurt. You believed. Even when hope flickered like a candle in wind, you stood when others left. And now, heaven's appointed time has arrived. The promises that once felt far away are walking toward you, clothed in reality. The fulfillment of the word rarely looks like you imagined. It doesn't come wrapped in perfection, it comes wrapped in purpose. What you see now may still carry scars, but those scars are proof that it's real. The dream had to bleed to be born. There was once a chosen one named Abraham who received a word too large for his lifetime. Decades passed, and heaven seemed silent. Yet every silent year was a step toward divine timing. When the promise finally arrived, it wasn't just for him, it became the root of nations. That's the pattern of every fulfilled word. It outlives the one who carried it. What God gives to the chosen always ripples beyond their reach. The word that sustained you will one day sustain others. You are not just the receiver, you are the proof. Look around your life. Can you feel it? The atmosphere has shifted. The same places that once felt heavy now hum with peace. The same wounds that ached now whisper wisdom. The same paths that led to wilderness now lead to wonder. You're seeing how heaven's handwriting was hidden in every detour. The fulfillment of the word is not loud, it's layered. It shows you why you cried, why you waited, why you lost. Suddenly, it all connects. The moments that once felt random reveal themselves as threads of a perfect design. Think of a tapestry woven from both dark and golden strands. Up close, it looked tangled, senseless. But when you step back, the image appears. That's what's happening in your spirit. You're stepping back, and the masterpiece is visible. This is not the end of the story. It's the proof of the author. Every chapter before now was necessary. Every warning was protection. Every silence was strategy. The prophecy wasn't late. It was precise. Fulfillment doesn't erase the struggle. It redeems it. It turns memories of pain into monuments of grace. The same ground that once held your tears now grows your testimony. You'll notice how your voice sounds different now, steadier, deeper, grounded in gratitude. You no longer pray from panic, you pray from peace. That's the fruit of fulfillment. It matures your faith until it sounds like stillness. Even your surroundings respond to it. People sense it without you speaking. You carry an atmosphere now, one that feels like completion, the kind of calm that only comes from surviving storms. And yet, there's humility in it too, because you know how close you came to giving up. You remember the nights when you almost walked away, but grace kept you, purpose pulled you, and now heaven confirms you. Think of a tree that finally blooms after years of drought. The roots remain hidden, but the flowers speak loudly. That's you now, evidence that waiting was not wasted. The fulfillment of the word does not mean the journey is over. It means the foundation is secure. From here, heaven will build greater things through you. You've proven faithful in the fire. Now you'll carry the flame into the world. What was once prophecy has become reality. You are the living manifestation of what heaven foresaw. And every time you breathe, the promise breathes too. Rest here for a moment. Not in exhaustion, but in awe. Feel the weight lift, the circle close, the peace settle. You've stepped into what was spoken. The warning has become witness. The delay has become deliverance. The word has become flesh in your life. This is not the end. It's the unveiling. The moment where heaven whispers, "See, I told you this day would come." And now it has. If these words have met you here, it means the circle has closed exactly where heaven intended. You've walked through awakening, fire, silence, revelation, and restoration, and now you stand whole, not perfect, but peaceful, not finished, but fulfilled. The message that once warned you has now become the rhythm of your heart. Every breath you take from here forward is sacred continuation. You are the living echo of a prophecy completed. But the story doesn't end. it expands. The light you've found isn't meant to stay hidden within you. It's meant to move outward, to find other hearts still wandering in the dark. When you press the heart, imagine it as more than a gesture. It's a flame passed from soul to soul, saying, "I've heard, I understand, I remember who I am." And when you share, see it not as a link, but as a lantern, your light carried through unseen corridors to find those still waiting for their dawn. One small act of faith can set entire constellations in motion. When you subscribe, think of it as returning to the altar of remembrance, a quiet vow to stay connected to the flow that feeds your spirit. To keep listening when the world grows loud, and when you leave your comment, let it be more than words. Let it be your testimony written in real time. Maybe just a phrase, maybe a number, maybe a single sigh of gratitude. But let heaven hear your echo, because this moment right here, right now, is not coincidence. It's convergence. You found this message because it was looking for you. And as you move forward, may your life itself become the message, steady, burning, alive. The day heaven warned you of has come, and you were ready.